Two members of Luthra Brothers' legal team is in Thailand, and now we're learning that they met with Luthra Brothers for approximately 30 minutes. The Bangkok authorities facilitated the legal meeting, the legal interaction between the two sides, and sources have told your channel that the legal process would begin in just a while. The wait is now on for the Indian authorities to arrive, who could come in the next half an hour to 1 hour. So all of these proceedings now taking place. Do remember the Indian embassy in Bangkok is currently in close coordination with the Thai authorities. Following the detention of the Luthra brothers, this took place before the weekend. There's been a little bit of a delay in bringing them back to India to face the law, given the several legal complexities. But the owners, the two owners, brothers of Birch by Romeo Lane, the now charred nightclub in Goa, are currently in Thai custody, and the process for deportation is going to begin. They've been allowed time with their legal team in the latest, is what we're learning. So a 30-minute window was opened for the Luthra brothers to interact with their legal team. They met for approximately 30 minutes, and the Bangkok authorities facilitated this very interaction. We're learning that the legal process could begin in a while. I do want to go across to Ananya Bhatnagar, who joins us with more details. Ananya, tell us what happens next over the weekend. This was a wait-and-watch situation on how soon will the Luthra brothers be brought back to India to face the law here. The legal challenges turned out to delay that entire process. But given this legal interaction that took place between the legal side that is backing this case and the Luthra brothers, how do we see this going forward in the next few hours?
Well, absolutely. A two-member team of the Luthra brothers from India, two lawyers have actually come from, in fact, India to Thailand, and they met with, in fact, the Luthra brothers. They met them for approximately 30 minutes, and in fact, this meeting continued under the under the watch of the Bangkok authorities. The Thailand authorities actually facilitated this particular meeting, and the process for deportation of these two brothers might also begin very, very soon, because in the next half an hour to 1 hour, we might see that there is some kind of a pace that could be picked up as far as this deportation process is concerned, because the authorities there are awaiting the Indian side, their Indian counterparts to actually arrive, which we were told that, they would be arriving in next half an hour to 1 hour. And then, these, processes could actually continue. In fact, during this particular meeting, the Luthra brothers were explained by their lawyers with regards to the kind of process that is involved, the kind of how deportation happens. Not only that, they were also inquired about their health, and also how they were treated by the Bangkok authorities, and in fact the Thailand authorities, who were in fact aiding that particular deportation, and who had in fact nabbed these two brothers after, in fact, RCN was actually issued against them. So we'll have to wait and watch as to how things pan out. Two lawyers in fact, Thailand completely signal that very, very soon we might see the Luthra brothers coming back to India and then facing the law as far as this unfortunate tragedy that occurred in fact, Goa is concerned. So we'll have to wait for that. But at this moment, the legal team of Luthra brothers is in Thailand and is aiding the process for the deportation of the two brothers.
And what's the legal process that's going to be followed? The CBI team did arrive in Phuket on Saturday, Ananya, but they're going to have to be given a one-way travel document because their Indian passports were suspended by the central government. So what are those details that are going to be followed in bringing them back the next few hours?
Well, absolutely. There is a proper procedure. They would be given out a certain kind of a travel document that would actually result into their travel back to India, because it would be told to the bank authorities that, they are somebody who are needed for, in fact, a trial in the country. They're needed for an investigation in the country after this massive tragedy has actually taken place. In fact, when this anticipatory bail that was filed by these two brothers were actually dismissed by the Rohini court in the national capital, it had completely noted that these two brothers actually booked their flights on the day that fire took place, and it was nothing more than an escape route that they tried to adopt as far as things are concerned. And very categorically at this juncture, now the legal team would now try to delay, or in fact try to aid that particular process in order to get them back, and to ensure that even when they're back in India, they either face the law or minimum harm is caused to them as far as this legal process is concerned.
Okay. Thank you for that, Ananya. We'll come back to you in just a bit. Simran Babbar joins us live from Goa. Simran, you've been going through some of these venues. You've also been closely monitoring the ongoing investigations that are being carried out by Goa police. They're going to be looking at this deportation very closely because that's when investigations will really pick up speed. What's the biggest expectation right now in terms of what probe authorities are looking at once Luthra brothers are back to India?
Well, absolutely. In fact, as we have been understanding about the many angles on which the investigation, also by the Goa police, which is also now waiting for the deportation process to be fastened, and also to Luthra brothers to come back to the custody of the Goa police. As of now, in fact, right now in Goa, while we speak from, we are very near to that same outlet, same nightclub where the tragedy had happened. In fact, 25 lives were lost. Right now, in fact, in the Goa bench of the High Court, the two separate hearings are going to be taking place on the writ petition of the whistleblowers and the another one demanding a SIT monitored probe as well. Demanding an SIT for the CBI monitored probe as well. And we speak of how, in fact, the latest breakthrough that's coming right now is the deportation process finally taking pace of the Luthra brothers, while they are expected to be coming up in the next 24 to 48 hours as well. And here in Goa, while the police is keeping a very close watch, yesterday itself they have caught some of the people around the property, and they have summoned them to the police station to record the statements, as many of these people who were living in the nearby premises were very much aware of the activities that were underway. And while we were stationed there for quite some time, we also noticed that the lapses were quite in fact grand, and the entire area was a paddy land, a salt pan, essentially how we also address it in that league as well. What we have found out that the police is going to continue here in Goa the investigation as per the pace by summoning the people as well.
And more questions are coming to the fore that need to be answered as and when the probe is proceeding forward. Thank you, Simran, for joining us with those details. We need to quickly put out more breaking news that's just come in. This is source-based information that Thai authorities are waiting for the Indian team to reach the Immigration Bureau, and they're expected to reach shortly, after which the emergency certificate will be produced and other paperwork will also be done. Like we just highlighted, a legal team was allowed to interact with the Luthra brothers, and that meeting took place for about 30 minutes, and they're hopeful of the deportation today itself. Arunima joins us with more details. Arunima, which also means if we piece all of these inputs together, Luthra brothers could very well be brought back to India today itself.
That's what the expectation of the legal team which is assisting is. They have been maintaining that they're very hopeful that once the weekend is done away with, Saturday, Sunday, there was no work whatsoever. And the Luthra brothers traveled from Phuket to Bangkok. By the time it was Friday, the official work hours were over. So for almost 3 days now, they've just been languishing at the deportation center. No consular access was available to them. No legal team was available to them. So my conversation with the legal team gave me an understanding that they were hoping things will start moving on Monday. But there is a separate version that we have as far as Goa police is concerned. Goa police is looking the timeline more as Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning. And the reason for that timeline is today morning, when the Immigration Bureau officials from Thailand arrived, they first met the legal team which wanted to meet the Luthra brothers. So that meeting went on. As per protocol, you are allowed to meet your legal team. In India, they call it mulakat. Thai authorities have their own terminology for that. So 30 minutes time is given for that. The family, we were told, were quite worried because one of the brothers have a epileptic condition and no medicine was made available. Also, they were not very sure what were the hygiene standards being followed at that deportation center. So all of that concern was expressed by the legal team when they met the Thai authorities, and the Thai authorities have been very cooperative so far. However, they require some documentation from the side of the Indian embassy. After the deportation process, it is the Indian team which will escort the Luthras to Delhi. That's the most likely approach. Since the passport has been cancelled, the Indian embassy there will have to provide the emergency certificate to the Thai authorities that this is the document on which the expulsion from Thailand immigration stamp will be put. So that document is crucial to deportation as well. Once the Indian embassy officials go and provide the Immigration Bureau officials with that emergency document, that's when step 3 of this deportation process begins. So once again, to reiterate, the legal team of Luthras are expecting all of this to happen by the end of the day today. However, if you ask Goa police, they think it will take 24 hours more based on their conversation with the Thai authorities.
Okay, we'll keep unlayering this all-important story here on CNN News 18. Thank you so much, Arnma, for joining us with the latest. We head into a very short breather. With that, we'll be right back.